Hello YouTube, I'm the Foam Witch, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can make this He-Man sword. There is a free template in the description of this video so you can download that and make one for yourself, so let's do this. The first thing I needed to do was come up with some kind of template/blueprint in order for me to trace the pattern onto the foam. To do this, I just looked at some reference photos and sketched out on paper until I was happy with the design. I guessed a lot of the measurements, so it might not be the exact size, but it was alright for what I wanted. As I said at the start, the template for this is available in the description. This then got traced around twice onto 10mm foam. A channel then got cut out of both pieces, and this was in order to add a fiberglass rod in the middle to add strength to the sword. The fiberglass rods, along with the EVA foam and other materials in this video, are all provided by the incredible Tigers Supplies. The fiberglass rod then got a little bit of hot glue around the edge to keep it in place, and then the other piece of foam was stuck on top of this with contact adhesive. I then decided to add another layer of 5mm foam to both sides to add a bit more strength. As you can see, this looks quite messy, but it's going to get carved and sanded, so this wasn't really a problem. I then went and carved down the edges with my craft knife. The craft knife could have been a little bit sharper, which would have given a cleaner result, but again, this was going to get sanded anyway, so I wasn't really too worried. Also, I found the whole carving process utterly terrifying because I didn't want to take off too much foam and ruin the whole sword. It was scary. After carving, I first sanded it down with the Dremel, I then used the mouse sander, and then lastly, I hand sanded. And after what felt like an absolute eternity, the sanding was finished, at least for this part. Then it was time to work on the centre detail using the part of the template that looks like this. This gets cut down the lines into 4 sections. Each of the middle lines gets cut with an inward bevel cut so that when they're joined back together, they create a point. This needs doing twice, one for the front and the back of the sword. And as you can probably guess, this then gets stuck onto the base of the sword. It was then time to move on to the side details, starting with this piece, cutting it out twice from 10mm foam for both the left and the right side. This piece is thicker in the middle than it is at the edges, so to do this I cut out 4 sections that you can see here, stuck one on each side, and then sanded this down with the Dremel to give the desired shape. Then moving on to this piece, which again gets sanded down with the Dremel to give a beveled edge. This section needs sticking in the middle of the piece that was made before, so to do this, the ends just get cut in half. This then gets glued in the middle. Once that part has been made twice, you then stick it on either side of the sword. Make sure you stick them the right way up, because I didn't the first time. Then moving on to this piece, which is a detail for the bottom of the sword. This gets cut out twice and one stuck on the front and the back, like so. There was a bit of a gap at the base of the sword, so I just went and filled this in with some foam clay. As I am clearly a glutton for punishment, I then went back and did some more sanding by hand using some fine grit sandpaper to get rid of any glue marks and to make sure the edges of the blade were super smooth. Yes, I am aware of how this part of the video looks. After finishing that extra sanding, this part of the sword was looking super smooth and clean. I may not be the fastest builder, but I would like to be known as the cleanest. To make the handle, I had this pipe lying around. I think it was the end of a brush at some point, so I stuck this in, cut it down to size, and then covered it in foam to make it a little bit thicker. The thickness of foam I used here was 3mm. This isn't on the template because it's going to be dependent on what you use for the handle. To make the end of the handle, I cut out 2 pieces of 5mm foam measuring 6cm across and stuck them together. This then got sanded with the Dremel to make it look more round and curved and not just like 2 pieces of foam stuck together. This then got stuck to the end of the handle. I then took a piece of thick foam dowel, no particular measurement, and I sanded this with the Dremel to round it off to stick at the very end. The bottom of the sword has some lettering detail, so looking at reference photos, I drew on how I thought it looked, and then I burnt this in with the wood burning tool. It was then time to seal the foam before painting using my favourite sealer, which is black flexi paint from Tig's Supplies. This got brushed on by hand and I used about 5 layers. That is more than I normally use, but I wanted the base to be super smooth before painting. This is how the sword looked once the flexi paint had fully dried, and it was now ready to start painting. Because I was going to try and use chrome paint on this sword, the base needed to be as glossy as possible, so I used this gloss paint that I had in my stash. This is how it looked after 2 layers of the gloss paint. I probably could have done a few more layers to make it a bit more shiny, but I was very aware I was running out of time to get this video out on time. For the chrome paint, I decided to use this Mickey Shine from Mickey Makes 3D. I'd never used this before, so this was a complete test. Following the instructions on the bottle, I sprayed this through my airbrush and I sprayed on 2 layers. Once the paint had fully dried, this is how it was looking, and I don't think the video does it justice to how shiny this actually was. This paint was so good. If I'd have taken a bit more time to get the base even shinier, I don't doubt that the finished result would be even better. Does the chrome show up any imperfections in the foam? Yes, it does, but this isn't a reflection on the paint, it just means I need to work harder next time to make sure the base is perfect before painting. This paint is incredible. To add a bit of dimension to the paintwork, I then took some black oil paint and went around the edges with this, smoothing it out with a fluffy brush. I then wanted to protect the paintwork, but this can be a little bit tricky with chromes or metallics because some top coats can dull the shine. But because I have absolute faith in Tig's Supplies, I used this gloss top coat. I didn't test this on the chrome paint beforehand, I just went ahead and brushed this on. I brushed on 4 layers of this gloss top coat, letting each layer dry properly before moving on to the next. And thankfully, this worked perfectly. It didn't dull the shine too much and made it super glossy. There will obviously be different finishes on different types of paint, but on this chrome paint, it was perfect. The footage, however, doesn't really show that well how shiny this actually is. It was then time to paint the handle, and I just used a few different shades of brown to make it look like leather. This is how it looked once it was dry, and I also painted the end silver. And that is the He-Man sword complete. I am so thrilled with how this turned out. Some of those beveled edges were a little bit tricky, but with a lot of sanding, it got there in the end. I also love the finish of the chrome paint. That paint is incredible. If you are still watching this video, I want to give you a massive huge thank you. If you've enjoyed it, if you could give it a thumbs up like, that would be incredible. And if you like crafting content like this and have still not subscribed to my channel, if you could do that now, that would be awesome. Huge thanks again for watching, and all I've got left to say is, I'll see you next time.